Naya. How are you doing? Hi, Wolfie. It's Miss Susan. And today, Lily and I are going to talk about lesson 24, which is Jesus calming the storm. Let's start with our memory verse. Who can tell me what color is this shape? You're right, it's red. And who can tell me what the shape is? Great, it is a heart. Very good. Okay, let's sing our verse, which is love one another. Can you ready, Lily? Are you ready to sing? I thought you would be. Okay, Lily wore her you can't see it. She's got a blinky collar. So at night I can find her when it's dark. Your blinky collar, there it is. Hard to see, right, Lily? Good girl. You ready? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Love, love one another. Love one another. Love one another. John 13:34. Good job. I really like this one. And my cat Marshall has come to watch us. This is Marshall, my 18-year-old cat. He heard the singing, and Marshall really likes singing, don't you, Marshall? And he always likes story about Jesus, doesn't he? Do you want to hear the story, Marshall? Okay, you can sit here for a little bit. Okay, today our story is about Jesus and his friends called the disciple. Lily's very interested in Jesus. Marshall, not as much today, but do you want to hang around? Okay, you can hang around and talk to us while I talk to the kids about this fun story. You want to stay, Marsh? Okay, good boy. Here, you can sit on the verse. There you go. Good boy. Well, Jesus was in Galilee, and he was tired. He'd been walking all over town talking to people, telling them how wonderful God was and all the wonderful things God does for his people. And he had his 12 disciples with him. They were his best friends. And Jesus had been talking to so many people in so many places that he was really tired. So he decided that he wanted to go from one side of the river in Galilee to the other side. So everybody piled in the boat. I kind of have this as my boat. This is a big boat, and they all piled in, and Jesus sat in the back. And he was really tired, so he laid down. And they were going out, and went way out in the river, and it was so quiet and calm. They said the water was glassy. You could almost see your reflection in it. And then all of a sudden, this big storm came up. Do you like rainstorms, Lily? We had sleet here, and Lily was afraid of the sleet. Remember that, Lily? It was very noisy. Well, Jesus slept through it. There was rain and thunder and lightning, and all the disciples were so afraid. And Jesus kept sleeping in the back of the boat. And finally, some of the water started coming over the edge, and the boat's going side to side, and Jesus is just sleeping peaceably, but they're really scared, and they're afraid the boat's going to capsize. And some of the water's coming over. Jesus is getting a little wet, but he's still sleeping. So finally, they are all terrified, and they said, let's wake up Jesus. I know he's tired, but he will help us. So they woke up Jesus, and he's like, what? What's the matter? And they're like, Jesus, this is a terrifying storm. We're so afraid. Water's coming over the boat's rocking side to side, and we're afraid we're all going to die or something scary is going to happen. So Jesus put his hands up, and all of a sudden he said, dear God, quiet the wind and quiet the seas. And all of a sudden, everything was quiet. The thunder stopped, the rain, the lightning, and the waves were just like glass again. They were very calm and quiet. And Jesus continued to say, peace, everything be still. And it continued to be peaceful and still. And they were all so relieved. They couldn't believe that they were safe. And they realized that, my goodness, that Jesus had the power to control the wind, the rain, the lightning, and the water. And they had great respect for his powers that God had given him. And so they felt that if Jesus could control the weather and the wind, he could do anything. So Jesus was their Savior yet again. And they were all safe, and they got to the other side in Galilee, and they went about their way. Here, Jesus, would you like to hang out there? Because Lily would like to play with you, and I think you'd probably rather not play with Lily right now. Here's our coloring page this week. It's talking about how Jesus teaches everyone about God's great love. So here's a picture of everyone in the, well, not everyone, but some of the disciples and Jesus in the boat with Jesus calming the storm. Our craft this week is this really neat book. And you can put your heart, which is our memory verse this month, love one another anywhere you'd like. Well, actually, you can put it in the heart shape on the front. And then you can color the pages inside of Jesus calming the storm. I can see here that Miss Sheila did some beautiful coloring. So we'll get to see what kind of nice coloring you guys get to do. All sorts of fun coloring, because it says, I'll read you the story, it says, Jesus was on a boat with his friends. Good coloring, Miss Sheila. Jesus went to sleep, and a big wind tossed the boat. Hi, Marshall. The men were afraid. Wake up, save us, Jesus, we're really terrified. And Jesus said, peace, be still, and everything was. And then the wind and the water obeyed Jesus. So that should be really fun for you to do this week. I hope you both have wonderful weeks. Miss Sheila's still a little sick and under the weather, so I'm here being your teacher for the time being. Lily, did you enjoy that? Lily, would you like a treat because you were so good? Would you like to sit up and show the kids how good you are? Okay, Lily, come here. Oh, good girl, would you like that? She does like treats. I like treats too, kind of cookies, not dog biscuits. You're a good girl. Well, Lily and I wish you a safe, wonderful, happy week with your family and your friends, and I'll pray that you have just the best week with everyone and that nothing bothers you and that you remember the peace and the calm that Jesus taught his disciples that he could do because God loved him and God gave him the power to control everything. So I miss you guys. I hope you have a great week. Lily and I and Marshall, right Marshall? Marshall came back, he heard there was treats. So we will all see you for lesson 25 later this week. Bye-bye. See you. Good job, Marshall. Bye, guys. Okay.